Now,
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
Today I'm going to persuade you that anyone over the age of 65 should be required to take a yearly driving exam. When 100-year-old Mr. Carter, a valid driver's license holder, backed his car into a sidewalk full of school-aged children, his only response was, "My brakes failed," according to a blog written by AARP. Indeed, it was not his brakes that failed, but human error that caused this accident. That is why I'm going to persuade you that this gentleman should have already taken a driving exam and probably would have failed. In reality, older drivers now make up 16% of all licensed drivers, according to the National Highway Transportation Authority. Only because the first of the baby boomers have now turned 65, starting in the year 2011. When you were younger, one of your first accomplishments is gaining your independence and learning how to drive an automobile. But unfortunately, it's also one of your first losses of independence due to the aging process. As we do age, our bodies go through many changes, physically and mentally. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and loss of vision are some of the most common ailments that older people will face, and in return affect their abilities to drive. 65, known to many as the retirement age, should also be the age that one would be required to take a yearly driving exam to prove that they can drive safely on the roadway. If they could not prove that they could drive safely, they would fail the exam and their license would be permanently revoked. Driving is meant to as a privilege and requires skill. It should not be considered a fundamental right, as noted in Marquette Elder's Advisor. We as drivers know that driving requires sharp reflexes and acute awareness. Every year we turn another page in our life, and with that page turning, our health changes with it. By the age of 65, majority of the older population have some type of medical diagnosis that limits their abilities, physical and mental abilities, to drive. According to the Journal of American Geriatric Society, psychological changes related to normal aging and diseases that commonly affect the elderly may compromise their ability to drive. They go further to say that once the question of competence to operate an automobile has been raised, ethical dilemmas must be addressed regarding the benefit of continued driving versus the risk to that person and to the risk of society as a whole. The Marquette Elder Advisor notes that most states do not require a yearly driving exam at any age. According to the Iowa International Highway Safety Society, per mile traveled, fatal crash rates noted increased noticeably starting at the age of 70 to 74 and are the highest among drivers at the age of 85 and older. Why not get ahead of this statistic and save some lives and mandate annual driving exams? Four of the most common errors that older drivers make when driving, as noted by the National Highway Transportation Society Association, are not noticing potential conflicts, traffic signs and signals, misjudging gaps and crossing traffic. They move or stop suddenly, and not conducting a visual search well. All of these skills are needed when taking on the roadway.